Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda Lopez. I'm a mother of two, a clean beauty advocate who loves to talk and learn all things health and wellness. And today I'm going to bring you guys a review slash makeup tutorial of some Kosas Cosmetics products. I recently won a giveaway from one of my favorite clean beauty bloggers, Girl Gone Green, and I am so thankful because Kosas Cosmetics has been on my wish list for quite some time and I hadn't had a chance to purchase any of their products yet. So having these products, I've been like a kid in a candy store and I fell in love with everything, spoiler alert. So if you want to see how I created this look right here using Kosas Cosmetics products and hear my thoughts on everything and see swatches, then definitely keep watching. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like the vibe, be sure to subscribe. And you can also find me on Instagram where I share more clean beauty and healthy living, and you could just learn a little bit more about me. So without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so I have my foundation, concealer, and brows done, and the first Kosas product I'm going to talk about are their liquid eyeshadows. I have three colors in the shades Copper Halo, Global, and Fahrenheit. I was super excited about these. They looked super cool. First thing I noticed about these is that they were super watery. Like if you shake it up, it literally is just like water, which was surprising because other liquid eyeshadows I've had were like a thicker formula. So I was really interested to play around with these and see how they work. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the shades I have for you. Okay, so these are the swatches. This is Copper Halo, which is obviously like a copper shade. This is Global, which is like a warm champagne shade. And then this is Fahrenheit, which is like a purple undertone shade. So today I'm gonna go ahead and use Copper Halo and Fahrenheit. I think I'm gonna do something really fun and different with my eyeshadow look. So I'm going to start off with the Beauty Counter Classic Eyeshadow Palette, and I'm going to dip into the color Suede. I really like this transition shade. And I'm just going to with light pressure, just kind of dust that all in my crease with a big fluffy brush. Then I'm going to take another brush and I'm going to go into the shade Sienna, which is like a burnt red orange, and I'm gonna focus that in the outer crease and then kind of just blend it out. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Then I'm going to take a brush like this and I'm going to go back into the same suede color and put it underneath my lash line. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is like a little bit of a fatter pencil brush, and I'm gonna go into Sienna and I'm gonna smudge that right underneath my lash line as well. Then I'm just gonna take my big fluffy brush again and just kind of blend everything out. Kind of like connect it together. I'm gonna go one more time into that Sienna shade and just deepen it up a little bit. And then back with my fluffy brush, I'm just going to soften the edges and blend everything together. Then I'm going to take my Clove and Hallow palette, and I would have used the Ivory shade for highlight, but since I obviously ran out, I'm gonna go ahead and use this white gold shade from the Clove and Hallow palette. And I'm going to take a little brush and dip it in there. And then I'm just going to highlight right underneath my brow. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush again and just kind of blend that together. Okay, so that's pretty much what I do. I just like get kind of a regular eyeshadow down before I add any liquids. And I'm gonna start off with the Copper Halo shade, and I'm gonna shake it up really good since it is a watery formula. And what I learned about this is they are buildable, but you don't want to try to build on them while they're really wet, because when you put it on your lid, it's going to be really wet. So put it on your lid and then let it like dry down a little bit before you blend it. And then once it's dry, you could add another layer if you want it to be more intense. So I pretty much just take it, wipe off the excess, and then I go ahead and just apply it to my lid. It does not have to be perfect because we're gonna kind of blend it out. So that's what it looks like unblended. And then I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm just going to tap it, and I'll kind of carry that into the crease and just blend it with my finger. So I'm gonna do that on both sides. Until it feels like it's distributed pretty evenly and it's not like super tacky anymore. So now that it is kind of dry, I'm gonna go ahead and take this brush again, and I'm just going to go into the crease to just help like blend it out so there's no harsh lines. And I'm gonna blend out the bottom as well. Then I'm just going to take my concealer. I'm not gonna add any extra concealer to it. I'm just gonna clean up where I feel like it kind of got out of the lines, got a little bit messy. And this is more of like a smoky look, so we don't want it to be perfect, but we also don't want it to be like too messy. And then I'm gonna take my brush again and just blend that out because, like I said, it's more of a smoky look and I don't want to have any like harsh lines. Okay, so now that we applied that, I'm just gonna give you a closer look of what that looks like with one layer. It's really pretty and it blends out super smooth. I really love the way it applies. It doesn't look thick or cakey. It just looks like really smooth, and you could even just leave it at this if you wanted to, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a little extra to it. So I'm going to take the shade Fahrenheit, that purpley shade. I'm gonna take an eyeliner brush and I am going to basically paint this on as eyeliner. So at first it'll feel a little weird because, like I said, it's really watery, but when it dries, it's gonna look really pretty. So I'm basically just going to take this and I'm going to dip my eyeliner brush into it. Start right here with a really thin line and kind of just map it out. So I'm just starting with a very thin line and just do it really slowly. I am no professional at eyeliner. So now I've got it all the way across, and then I'm just going to go ahead and flick it out with a wing. So see that? And I'm gonna go over it one more time when I'm done. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. So I got that one, and then I'm just going to wing it out. So this wing definitely came out thicker than this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. And you just have to have patience because you kind of have to let it dry if you want it to be darker. So I'm gonna go over it again to deepen it up a little bit darker so you could see it better. So see that? And if you feel like you messed it up at all, you could definitely go in and clean it up with your concealer brush. So my review with these are that they are super easy to use, they don't flake or crack throughout the day, and they are just so lightweight on the lid. You could build upon them, and they're just so easy to blend out with just a finger. I really love it. The main key with them is, like I said, just to let the first layer dry before adding another layer. And I feel like with these colors that I got, you can really play around with it so much. So I really love that. So just to finish off the look, the only thing I'm going to do is add a little highlight. So I'm gonna go back in with that highlight and a little brush, and I'm just going to add that right here to kind of just finish it off. And this Cloven Hollow highlight in here is just banging, like so banging. I think I'll probably add just a little bit more up here. And then I think I'm just going to blend out the bottom just a little bit more. Nice and blended. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Kosas Color and Light Duos. So I have 2 pressed and I have 1 cream. So I wanted to try both of them to get my review. I don't have their intense ones. I got just the regular intensity, but I'm curious on how their high intensity ones are. I was just scared that they would be too intense for my light skin tone. So the first one is the Color and Light Pressed Blush and Cheek Duo in the shade Contra Chroma. So this one has like a bronzy blush shade, and then it has a champagne highlight in it. Really, really pretty, very neutral look that matches with everything. And then I got their Papaya 1972, and this one has a peachy blush with like a peach highlight as well. So super pretty, super, super pretty. And then in the cream, I got their Tropic Equinox, which I feel like is very similar to the Contra Chroma, but in cream version. So they've got like this little bronzy cream shade and then a champagne highlight. And the highlights aren't super intense, but they're so smooth, so beautiful for every day. These layer really well. I love to layer the cream underneath the pressed, and it really just lasts longer, gives it even more intensity. The number one thing I found with these is that they were just so smooth on the skin. They didn't emphasize texture. They blended really well. I was so impressed with these. I was like a little kid on Christmas when I started playing with these, and I really love them. I can't say enough good things about them. I want all the colors. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those for you before I do a demo. Okay, so these are the swatches. This is the Contra Chroma shade. It's like a warm rosy brown with a champagne highlight. And then this is the Papaya 1972. And this one is obviously a peachy, sheeny blush with, I don't know if sheeny is a word, but it has a sheen to it. And then it has a peachy champagne highlight. So Super, super pretty. Okay, and this is the swatch of the cream and Tropic Equinox. So this one has a similar shade to Contra Chroma. It's a warm brown shade for the blush, and then a champagne shade that pretty much just like melts into my skin tone, so it's not showing up really great, but it's such a good everyday highlight shade. I love it. It's so, so creamy, like unbelievably creamy. So I'm gonna start off with the cream shade, and I just take my beauty sponge and I pretty much just dip it into the bronzer, and then I just, or it's a blush technically I guess, and then I just pat it on to my cheek, and it just blends so seamlessly. So I just lightly pat it right there. You just pat it in with your beauty blender. It seriously looks super flawless. I really love it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the opposite side of my beauty blender. I'm going to dip into the highlight shade, and I'm just going to press that into my skin as well. And it really just catches the light so beautifully. So that's what the cream looks like. And now I'm going to top off with, I'm gonna use the corresponding pressed one, so I'm gonna use these. So I'm just going to go into my blush brush and kind of tap it off, and then I'm just going to press that right on top. And it builds up really nicely if you want to build it up. And then I'm going to take my highlighting brush and I'm going to go into the highlight, and I'm just going to add that. I also like to apply the pressed highlight with my beauty blender too, or I'll just go over it to blend it. I want to add a little bit of contour, so I'm going to go into the Cloven Hollow bronzer in Cabo. This is such a good contour shade for fair skin tones. I highly recommend, if you are anything above fair to light skin tones, even a light medium, it's probably not going to show up on you. This is a bronzer that is specifically for fair skin tones. So I'm just going to add a little bit of definition. With this, I'm also going to add it to my temples and my chin. I'm just gonna blend everything out with my beauty sponge and help it to just kind of melt together. I really love doing that. Super smooth, long lasting, A+ for those. I want literally every shade. So I'm gonna add my Fit Glow Beauty mascara real quick, and then we will move on to lips. Two tips for applying mascara is that I always add at least 2 coats. I always curl my eyelashes before, and then I let them dry down, and once they're dry, I will curl them again, and that really just emphasizes your lashes. So I'm letting my lashes dry right now, and I just remembered that I didn't add translucent powder, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some translucent powder to kind of clean up the cheek area. And I just do that to prevent it from like getting muddy, and just kind of clean up like the contour. Add a little bit right here. Okay, so now for the lipsticks, and of course, just like every other Kosas product, I fell in love with the lipsticks. And I'm so sorry, my dog is barking like crazy, so if you hear a dog barking in the background, I have a beagle, and once beagles get set off, they are really hard to calm down. So I have 3 lipsticks from Kosas. One of them is the shade Fringe, super like burgundy red color, love it, so 90s. And then I have Electra, which was like out of my comfort zone, but I love it. It just looks so good. It pops. And then this is, I don't know if it's limited edition, but I think it's only available on their website, and it is the shade Vegas, and it is a caramel like brown nude shade. Love it. Today I am going to go with Fringe because I wanted to be a little bit bold. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them for you guys, and then we will put on Fringe. So these are the 3 shades: Vegas, Electra, and Fringe. Love all 3 shades. Their formula is super creamy on the lips, and it doesn't dry them out. They're very long lasting and highly pigmented. And I will start by applying a lip liner because I always do that, and this is a Zuzu Luxe lip liner. I will put this shade down below because my shade pretty much just rubbed off. So now that I have my lip liner on, I'm going to go in to Fringe. It is such a badass shade. Okay, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this review slash demo. Sorry if I was like looking all over the place because this is my first time recording a makeup tutorial on YouTube, so I didn't really know like where was the best place to look while I was trying to do my eyeliner and stuff like that, but I am super happy about how the look turned out. And if you liked this video, then definitely give it a thumbs up and comment down below and tell me what your favorite Kosas Cosmetics product is, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos like this and reviews on clean beauty products. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, if you like the vibe, then subscribe.